Well, so does he.
ねえ、私一人でいるのやだな。今日だけでいいから泊まらせてくんない？
This
Bow
is
chicka
exactly what
wow
I
wow.
said! This is
Bow.
exactly what I said! I told you!
Hello there, I'm Ash Mannix, and I'm with my ever so beautiful co-host, Kuxel.
You flatter me.
I have to, otherwise she'll run away. And I am just having a look at videos. Yeah, there's a recording there. We're good to go. So just make sure I'm recording. Everything's fine. Hopefully, I won't have a weird.
This
glitch.
is all the stuff you should have done in like a test first, right?
Yeah.
Fuck it, we're too good for that. Let's just get right in, right?
Yeah, I'm flying by the seat of my pants at this point, and I was sounding like I was going to cough along earlier, so just and I've had one of those days at work, so
Yeah, it just seems like it's all going bad for you right now.
Yeah, being a pain in the arse, man. It's like doing this stuck on a thing at work, and you spend the whole day on it, and you feel like you've got nowhere. One of those days. But it's okay because I was watching a guy melt metal things on YouTube, and it was actually quite therapeutic. He's got like a mini, what would you call it? Melty thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Like a soldering iron?
No, it's when you melt metal.
A blowtorch?
He uses a blowtorch, but what's forge? A mini forge. That's what it is.
Right.
So it's like a little, it's like a cylindrical thing about, I don't know, 60 centimeters wide, maybe up to a meter tall, and that's like it's got like stone in it and all that to like, and you firing heat by a gas that you've let light up, and it's just like a mini forge within a thing. But it's epic just watching him taking scrap metal and melting it, and then he brings it out and pours it into little bar-shaped things to get bars of metal.
So he's a blacksmith.
Yeah, I mean, an amateur blacksmith. I don't know actually if he's that amateur. He's got like, I think he has like 1 million subs or something. I don't know. He's been doing it for a while as well. But yeah, he doesn't. The videos I've watched, now he's called Big Stacked, I think he's called. He's Australian as well, because at the end of, or near the end of every video, he goes into the fridge, brings out a cold beer, right? And he just sits there, because he's doing this in his garage. He sits in the garage, and you see this big Australian flag there. It's just like cheers to the flag, which is kind of hilarious. Quite like
That's
that.
his bit. That's his bit then, yeah?
Yeah. He chucks his shoes and all that, and he chills. And he's got 2 little, I think, pug dogs.
Australian YouTubers tend to be hilarious. I'm thinking of, I think it's Dank Pods is his name. He reviews old MP3 players and headphones.
Oh, wow.
And he's fucking hilarious.
It's interesting because this guy doesn't talk. He doesn't really show his face much. He just kind of does things from like his first person view. He'll take the camera and just show things.
Same with Dank Pods. He does the Ashens approach, where it's just his hands on screen as he handles whatever item he's reviewing.
This guy takes it a bit one stage further. He doesn't talk either. But yeah, there is.
Now I feel like we're getting into the artistic zone.
No, it's like have you ever seen? I forget the name. There's a famous YouTuber who it's.
So you should know by now that I have not seen many famous YouTubers. I'm not involved in the YouTube sphere as it is. I just watch what I like.
What's
I never check what's trending. Although I do go on Twitter, but I never check what's trending on YouTube.
Well, when I say famous, I don't mean like universally, like PewDiePie or something, who's like super well known, or Mr. Beast. It's just someone that's got like 1 million subs and whatever. And now that I think about it, that doesn't actually mean that many people know him. I can't remember his name. He does like joke videos where he just it doesn't matter. Anyway, he does it from a first person view, and I was just thinking there was similarities there. Even though this guy is Big Stacked, who does the Forged stuff, is a lot far more serious. But it's nice. It's great to watch. It's therapeutic to see things being melted down and turned into like a bar metal. Pretty cool. And it's recycling. And I'm just like, man, that would be a cool thing to do. I wouldn't do it at home because it's far too dangerous, but I'd like to go to a workshop where they had stuff like that and forge
I can't
stuff.
be asked with that, man. We got a local recycling centre. I'll let them deal with it, man.
No, I mean, I'm not going to put the effort. Like, you know, I'd like to go to a place where they've got the stuff, and then you can like learn how to do some of the stuff for the fun of it, not for like recycling or anything particular. I just like the idea, that old school idea of having a big hammer, a big muscly sweaty dude going bang bang, hammering metal, like, but real men do or whatever. I don't know. I have weird.
You and your preoccupations, man. You always go off on random stuff.
Yes, shit. Right, I keep doing this in these videos. Right, so last video.
6 minutes later.
Is it 6? Fuck, what's it?
It has been since I started recording.
Yeah, 6 minutes. So not too bad. Yeah, last video there was some weird audio glitch. It fucking pissed me off and it screwed everything up. Hopefully this video won't have that. In the last video, we got introduced to some new characters. There was the police detective who's investigating the mysterious and 50 Shades of Grey-esque death of our man in the Love Hotel, where he had.
Do you know what?
Yes.
Do you know what? I just got really fucking confused because I had watched, just to refresh my memory, the episode 5 of Chaos Child that went up. Mm-hmm. And I just remembered there's a fucking episode 6 which hasn't gone up yet, and this is 7. Oh. So there's a whole chapter of information that I'm trying to recall right now. Yes, I remember some kind of cop. He showed up. There was an informant.
Yes.
Fuck.
That was really it. We got
they got a slap on the wrist saying naughty kids don't do that again as well.
They got away lately, and we go back to the school with I can't remember her name, the girl
Karisu and normal dude.
Yeah. And they're just like, did they get out okay? What's happening? They're kind of getting worried. And then the nerdy girl, or the computer girl, she shows her back to us and just hunches over sad with a little squid sticking out her mouth because she's generally worried about, I mean, the guy as well, and the girl.
I actually don't remember that at all.
I only remember that because I was editing that video earlier today, and I remember I was scrubbing through it and I saw that bit and I remembered that, like, they were just like, does she care? She doesn't seem that bothered. But then she like turns around with her back to us at one point, and she's just kind of like hunched over a little bit and sad. And it just describes how the squid thing that she's eating was just sticking out of her mouth, and it was funny. So yeah, there you go. Lovely recap. Only used a couple minutes. Recap.
Get the recap music.
Right, and we're good to go. Let's jump.
Wait. Before you go,
yes.
What's extra?
What is extra?
On the menu over there, underneath continue.
Wait, do I have to
Is there any character profiles or anything like that?
Why can't I?
Backspace, man.
What? Okay.
Oh, you've not unlocked anything. Okay, so that'll be like a scene viewer and stuff.
Just load.
I just wanted to see that.
Right. Oh, remember this dodgy looking teacher came in?
Now I do, yeah.
I forgot about this guy. Came in at the end of the last part we played.
This teacher with his evilish type, not evil, but like shifty eyes, little weirdly pointed ear, and child predator beard.
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a psychopath or a pedo.
I also don't like his tie.
Why?
Because one stripe's going one way and the others are going the other way. I do not like that. I also do not like that the top stripe on the bottom part of the tie is straight, despite the implication that there's a fold in it.
You make fun of my predilections and oddities.
I have worn enough ties for work to get pissed off when I see a shit representation of a tie.
I honestly, it's been a while since I've had to wear a tie. And I don't usually wear ones
ties
with lines.
No, I tried to wear plain ones. I have a JoJo tie.
Oh my god, have you ever worn it?
Yes, I have. It's the Yoshikage Kira tie with the skull pattern of sheer heart attack on it. It's a great tie. But otherwise, I tend to wear plain ties.
Anyway, this guy looks dodgy.
He does. He looks shifty as fuck.
I don't like him. The club advisor, Wakui, was quite relaxed as he came into the room. Kurusu quickly stood up and rushed over to him. He nodded and motioned for her to calm down.
Oh. Yeah, I really don't like him. What the fuck's he doing with his left arm?
He's broken it and he's just holding it out to show us. Wait, just backspace this, isn't it?
I'm holding my briefcase, guys. You just can't see it's off camera.
大丈夫そうでしたか?
Sigh.
それはもちろん。ほら、伊藤君、すぐに体育館に行きなさい。
What? Why does Ito have to go to the gym?
Zip.
体育館なんで?
I thought he would maybe know.
I couldn't help myself.
リハーサルをするって、いい文化祭の記録になるんじゃないかな。
Ooh, K-Onbu.
Kurusu's expression froze and suddenly changed.
涌井先生?
It'd be nice if we could see it.
それですか?
Why is she talking like that?
She's being vaguely threatening.
Yeah, that might. But my question is why?
Do you know, I think her neck is just intentionally fucked up. I mean, look at it compared to the girl in the left.
Probably the same size. Wait. Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Wait, I'm gonna use my fingers here.
We're also close.
It is about the same size.
What are you doing with your fingers, mate?
Not to measure the distance. It is about the same size. It just looks.
She's
wrong.
in the background.
You know,
what does that matter?
I know,
she's in the background.
So it's going to be slightly smaller, but her neck doesn't look right either. Now that I think about it,
that's because of the tilt of her head.
I don't know. You know what it does? What accentuates it is the shadowing. This doesn't look
definitely.
right. That's I think
Actually,
if
yeah.
that wasn't there, it would be fine. And this line here looks a bit off.
Yeah, that line, that fucking line. If that line was if you got rid of that line and got rid of that weird shadowing, because that no, not shadowing even, the highlights on the left and right. Because how the fuck is light even getting there?
Oh, and I'm going to just switch to non-avatar. I forgot to do that. Doesn't. Also,
bye guys.
Now we're disappeared. You can't see us. Yay. And I'm just holding on this screen because I'm going to totally use this for the thumbnail. Why does she look so happy?
先生には機嫌がいいように見えますか?
Oh, that reminds me. Do you know you sent me a link to a web page where if you click on it, it goes ara ara, and you can click on it?
Oh, that was the Ceres Fauna ara ara page. Yeah,
that was oddly addictive. I kept on just hammering that, and it was just like, I was like, oh my god, it's actually kind of cool.
It was. So what happened was, because I never explained it to you, I just sent it to you without any context or explanation. Right, yep. But there's a VTuber, Ceres Fauna, and I quite like her. And she does a fucking brilliant ara ara voice, which someone sampled and made that website.
It is good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I did like how when you'd click it multiple times, it would keep up as well. It was quite well done.
So when I think what happened was when Fauna learned about it, as someone linked it back to her, she went on it, and then I think all the fanboys went on it and crashed the website at one point.
Makes sense. And I like how it shows the total number of times it's been clicked.
Do you know what? I'm gonna check right now as well.
I do not know how accurate that is, but it doesn't need to be that accurate. It just gives you an idea. I do love it.
So I'm on the website right now, and currently it's sitting at 13,981,671. Sorry, 13,981,671 global ara counter.
These are the things you need to know when you're watching us.
It once for good measure.
Nice. These are the things you need to know when you're watching us play Chaos Child. Extremely important stuff. It is worth.
This is exactly why Kurusu is happy.
Because she was listening to the ara. What's her name? Degenerate Queen. She's quite good at it as well. Sid Snap.
Oh man,
He does a good ara. Not even like it's only through fucking stuff like Sid Snap, stuff like that I hear the ara. I mean, I do hear it in anime, and I'm like, oh, and it's usually a mature woman or a mature persona, person with a mature persona. It doesn't, and I love it, but it's weird how it's became a thing. I mean, it's not that weird. It's the internet, but still.
It's just how it is, you know, Japanese culture. Anyway, I think we should press on.
Right, so Ito, or whatever his name, saved Wakui. Sensing a gathering storm of violence, Ito pushed Wakui out the door. Why did she get annoyed? Why was she annoyed by all of this? He was annoyed that the teacher, whatever he was, taking Ito away.
I mean, why are you asking? Why are you questioning this? We were annoyed at the teacher coming in.
Because he sucks, in general.
Yeah, exactly. That's reason enough.
I feel like that's not how it works in the plot of this story, but okay.
In the plot of this, she doesn't need any greater reason. Let's just move on.
Kazuki had looked up, but now she slammed her head back on the desk. Oof.
I am liking Kazuki more and more. She bangs on the wall with her fists, she gives lollipops to shut people up, and now she's banging her head on the desk. All without saying a word.
I would be extremely unnerved by a person doing that in real life.
Also, she has a banging set of headphones.
Yes. But I'd just be extremely unnerved if someone just started banging their head on the desk or whatever in real life. Not saying a word, and then giving you a lollipop when you looked sad. Now that she was all alone, Kurusu took out her phone and checked it. There was no message, of course. She sighed and looked at the board. Oh, mouse is in the way. That incident yesterday at the Love Hotel, whether it was murder or suicide, from the way Miyashiro and Onoe had looked when they'd been taken by the police, something had happened. Miyashiro had said it had something to do with the incident 6 years ago. Now that it had happened 3 times, there was no ignoring it. Yeah, the implication. He was saying these are all related, it's to do with the dates and something's supposed to happen today, and then this confirmed it. But we got caught up.
It was to do with the previous murders that took place 6 years ago. I say murders, they were just strange incidents, included murders, but some other ones as well. And he's like, it's the same dates. Therefore, someone is emulating the previous event. And he thought about that at this incident, went there, we saw some weird shit. A guy got his head cut off. A girl had blood in her eyes. Squeezed off, yeah. A girl had blood in her eyes. Our dude screamed very loudly. I think he got blood in his eyes at one point as well. The girl who was with him just freaked out. Police came and were like, fuck these kids. And also, what the hell happened here? Let's find out with this weird informant.
Also, one of the police officers who was there at the scene of the crime early on was sitting there unconscious. When
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, he got knocked out.
So, I think I got, I was just, like, so occupied by stuff that was happening, going into the Love Hotel and all that, I forgot about the connection that Miyashiro, our main character,
don't forget about all of that stuff, because that is the general premise underlying the story.
I mean, they've reminded us here.
Hmm.
No, it was too dangerous. You couldn't let him get more involved in this. She thought back to Ito's question about why Miyashiro was so interested in this case.
Wait, is Miyashiro our guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't look like a Miyashiro, I'd admit that. Kazuki
He
was...
just looks like a twat.
He does. Kazuki was still lying with her head on the desk. When she turned her head to the side, for some reason she looked like she was enjoying herself. What?
Finally, peace and quiet.
When Kurusu saw that, she suddenly lost her desire to drink the coffee. What? Apologizing in her mind to Kazuki, decided to pour it out at the water fountain. Kazuki had made her coffee.
Yep, what a waste of good coffee.
Why did she get put off drinking the coffee when... Why did Kazuki look happy when she looked to the side?
These are not the questions I'm interested in.
But it was like, that's such a weird bunch of little events that just happened there. What? Right. She headed to the upstairs water fountain, which was usually less crowded. I've got to admit, this is a banging school. It's pretty clean, quite cool. Looks a bit like the school
I wish my...
What were you going to say?
I was about to say I wish my school was this clean.
Yeah, my school. I mean, it reminds me a little bit, I don't know why, but of My Hero Academia. The school
That's
there
a nice
like,
clean school as well.
You found herself looking down at the gaps between the tiles. It's fucking lino. Where's the gaps between the tiles?
Wait, that's not tiles. Yeah, that's a hard floor.
It's like linoleum or some crap or some...
Mm.
Yeah. At the gaps between the tiles, the sound of her footsteps rang in her ears. You could tell that she was walking slower than usual. Essentially, Kurusu was lonely. And so you left her behind? She remembered what she'd said to Miyashiro when he had woke up in the clinic.
Kurusu, Mama. 名前で呼んで。家族なのに名字で呼び合うのはおかしいでしょ?
That's why he does it.
We're family, so it'd be...
Not literally family, but they're in that adoption center.
Yeah.
After the earthquake event, which took out like
both of
Shibuya.
their parents, yeah.
Yeah, and their parents got killed. So they were at this foster family. And she took the role of the big sister, essentially. What the fuck?
Sorry, what happened?
Oh, I just got a weird sort of notification.
Alright,
It's fine.
I was just like... In the end, he...
あの子は特別が気取りたいだけなんだから。
Yep.
I
Yeah,
mean,
totally.
let's be honest. Don't we all, to a degree?
No, but he's got delusions of grandeur. He's like, I'm the only one who can understand this incident. And then he's like, I'm a right-sider, you're all wrong-siders. And let's not forget about his weirdness with the whole magazines that hold information you can't find on the internet. And how he's so obsessed with trying to crack this case. Despite the fact that there are police involved. The man's delusional.
Fair enough.
He does want to pretend that he's special.
I feel like he's a high schooler. And to be honest, we all want to feel special. He's just a bit more... He has more reason to as well, man. He lost his parents.
What?
And he lives in a shit fucking...
He lives in an
camper
RV.
van. Yeah, I mean... He wants to feel special. He wants there maybe to be more of a reason for why these happen besides random bad luck. You know what I mean? You want to... And she... What did she do? Her coping mechanism was to try and be the bigger sister to other people and feel like she's important in that sense. He's kind of like coped by trying to think that he's someone special that can like solve the mystery behind the whole thing, and you know, don't blame the man.
I think you're trying to say that all of them are drinking some heavy copium right now.
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, we can take the piss, but if it happened to you and your parents, it's harsh. She knew why, she supposed. The event that had caused him to leave the dorm was still bothering him. I don't think we've really
Flashback!
delved into this. Ooh, 2009. Good year. Actually, it was a bad year now that I think about it.
Wait, what happened in 2009?
It was a year after
I
the
think I played
recession.
Persona 4 back then.
Oh, good.
Oh, God.
Good times for you. I was fucking trying to get a job. Very unsuccessfully.
I don't like that reverb. I don't like the echo. Not at all. Not in my ears.
It was a
It was an
EMC,
earthquake,
wasn't it?
officially.
Or EMP, electromagnetic pulse.
I don't know what it was, actually. It was Chaos Head.
I wanted water. I could still feel the sensation of the dead woman had touched when I'd fallen in my hands, and I wanted to wash it off. I wanted to wash my face, too. The wind from the flames had blown something small into my eye, and it itched badly. I was thirsty, too. Serica was on my back, showed no signs of waking up. My legs were at their limit. I forced my way through the crowd and sat down in a tire that had rolled nearby. It smelled like burning rubber. I didn't have the energy to apologise to the people I ran into. And they didn't have the energy left to complain. I slowly brought Serica to rest on my knees and looked around. Saw an orange light. The light of the fires reflected off of many things. It was pretty, I thought, before I realised how inappropriate that was. For some reason, I started to count the bodies on the ground, not knowing if they were alive or dead. But in less than 5 seconds, I'd gotten way over 10 and realised how futile it was. I stopped.
Men can't count past 10.
Shibuya Station was utterly destroyed. The 107, only a few minutes away by foot, ruined as well. 5 whole hours after the earthquake, the chaos had only increased. There were fewer people out walking, but I wasn't sure if that was because they'd reached safety or simply collapsed from exhaustion. I saw someone carrying his own severed arm in a convenience store bag.
That's grim.
And you laugh. I saw people ignore a barefoot woman as she cradled a baby whose head was smashed in. Some had outright given up insanity and were flinging things into the fire. A group of middle-aged salarymen were dragging a young girl into the darkness.
Yep.
A young man
Carry on.
went to A young man went to join them. Ah, fucking hell, man. Oh, I didn't need
That's
that
an
last
apt
one.
description.
I did not need that last fucking bit there. Fucking hell. There was no other way to describe it. This was hell. Serica moaned a little in my lap. I slapped her cheeks to wake her up. Yeah. Makes sense. You're gonna wake her up.
Wait a minute. Is that her name? Why does he call her Serica now then? Or is Onoe her surname? Oh yeah, there it says Serica Onoe.
Oh, so it does. Her face distorted in agony. It was okay. She was breathing. She was okay.
I know it thanks to SMT3.
Seriously?
No joke, yeah. Shibuya Hospital.
She looks similar age to what she is now. This was supposed to be a while back. Instead of answering, she just moved her eyebrows a little.
That's an answer.
I swore and lifted her up on my back again. She didn't seem to be badly hurt. This kept happening. I read on Twitter that the general hospital I read on Twitter that the General Hospital in front of Yoyogi Station was accepting patients injured in the earthquake. I didn't know that it was true, but I had no choice but to go. It had to be better than the hell that was Shibuya.
死ぬなよ
So, do you know how they painted an extremely grim picture there, right? Of
what's going on, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a Eastern thing, because like, do you know, did you watch what was that Squid Game?
Yes, I did.
And that was just like, there was grimness to it, but then there was grimness on top of grimness where do you know there was like guys selling organs?
Yeah.
And then like there was the implication that they had basically committed necrophilia or something like that with one of the bodies.
Well, I don't remember that aspect of it. But...
it was hinted at because they said this guy was looking, the police officer was looking for his someone, and then they said, oh no, you know, I tried to get on with them, but they were definitely dead or something like that, but it freaked me out or something. And he's like, no, I'm looking for my brother. It was like,
no, I don't remember that.
I remember that, and I'm just like, why? What is it with this fucking, like, it can't just be bad, it has to be fucking complete degeneracy. I don't know, it just rubs me off. I mean, maybe that's what happens. That's why they have stuff like that. Like in time, I just feel like when a random, like just here, right, a massive explosion has happened. It seems to be a very short time since that's happened, and we've got a bunch of salarymen just randomly dragging a woman off into the darkness.
Man, like, opportunists exist. This sort of stuff happens.
But like 5 minutes after a massive earthquake, man, I feel like that usually
happens. More than 5 minutes.
Come on, it couldn't have been that long. It's just like, look, people are shit. We live in a society. I don't know, I don't know why it annoys me. It rubs me out the wrong way.
It doesn't annoy me, but it's just, you know, it's definitely dark and terrible and all that, you know. But I don't seem to have the same sort of like visceral disgust which you have.
Well, I think that thing alone annoyed me. The woman with the baby makes sense. People have been injured. People have been.
I mean, I found the guy with his arm in the bag comical. The woman with the baby, tragic, and the guys with the girl also tragic.
I found the guy with his arm. I mean, that's sensible. He's, you know, it sucks. That's horrible. But he's trying to preserve it. He's hoping that he can
get to the hospital and they can fix him up. Yeah.
The woman with the baby is horrible because obviously she's cradling the baby, and you know that she's.
I mean, that's just grief that hasn't set in yet.
Yeah, the guys with the girl though, I don't know, that sort of shit just kind of like, I'm like,
that's opportunism, like, you know.
It just pisses me off for some reason, right?
It's meant to.
Fucking right, just fuck those guys.
But man, you're brooding on it for way too long, in my opinion. Like, this scene is still going on.
I yelled, unsure if Serika could even hear me, and started walking. I just needed to get to the hospital. What the motherfucking shit?
Is that a hospital?
What the fuck was that?
That's quite a grunt for waking up, like, oh, that was a weird dream.
That was a weird wet dream.
Oh, wow. Is that where he lives?
No.
It's not an RV, that is a camper.
That. I thought it was bigger than that.
Yeah, that's tiny.
I leapt up and quickly glanced to the left and right as I tried to calm my racing heart. I saw that I was in my own bed.
I did.
What was that?
It's fucking Alexa. God, fuck. Thing that just goes off at the wrong time. Thought that was in my own bed. Oh, that's a shivery sigh. I felt exhausted. I also felt really thirsty. Maybe it was because I had the dream again. I searched around until I found the bottle of water by my bedside, took a gulp, and then grabbed the phone off my bed to check the time.
0時17分。もう日付変わってるのか。
It was around noon when the police had let me go from Shibuya station with a warning. I'd gone home and gone straight to bed. I would have been out for more than 12 hours. This was no good. Maybe I'd slept too long. Or maybe I hadn't slept enough, because my head felt like it was filled with lead.
いや、
Oh, I know that feeling.
違うか。
Have you ever had that feeling when you haven't slept for that long? Like, sometimes I sleep for only like 2 or 3 hours before I have to do some work or whatever. And I wake up and it's got that sort of like weird fuzzy feeling where it's like, I know I haven't slept, but I have to get on with things. It's like, oh, fuck it. I'll just deal with this sensation. Have you ever had that? It's a weird sort of feeling.
I don't know. I think probably, but maybe I don't imagine it the way you've described it. Try to think.
It's weird because it's not like feeling tired. It's like it's a physical feeling right in the head.
I don't know.
Like your mind is made of stone or something. It's weird.
I don't.
I get that quite a bit when I don't sleep that long. And I don't sleep long, like, quite often.
Oh, well, that might be part of that then. I just feel like mentally, like depressed, like just properly depressed if I know I haven't slept that long. It makes me feel bad. But that's like that's not a physical sensation. It's more a feeling of dread, knowing that I've not got enough sleep. It's
not an emotional feeling, it's a physical feeling.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to, like, I don't know. I feel like I probably have, but I just can't think of it for some reason.
Well, take stock the next time you have to sleep for less than 3 hours.
Oh my god, I'm not going to do fuck that.
So I do bad. My sleep is usually like that short.
Oh,
not usually, thankfully, but it's like 4 hours is usually a good sleep that I get.
You're just slowly killing yourself. That's not good.
I don't even think it's that slowly, but anyway, carry on.
Oh my god. Fucking grim everywhere, man. Grim day at work, grim day in this game, grim day.
It's just my insomnia, man. My insomnia is long-lived. I'm used to it.
I don't like. You'd make a great YouTuber. I feel like a lot of YouTubers have insomnia. I don't know if that's just me. Damn. I put my hands up to the thin light that was coming through the window and checked their colour. They were the same as always. There was no blood on them. Ah, yes.
We need a recap. It's like, yeah, this happened. It was legit. It was real.
I felt a little like throwing up. I hoped another drink of water would help, but it didn't. Damn it. I thought for a moment and then decided to turn on the room lights.
Where's he getting electricity from?
He's probably just nicking it from the power lines nearby. He's like, you know, like people splice him out.
Did I tell you? You must have heard from my brother and I about the car wash nearby that did that.
Was it a car wash? I feel like I didn't hear about a car wash. I don't think
it was a hand car wash. It wasn't like one of those big ones. It was a bunch of dudes living in a caravan, not too dissimilar to this actually. And for electricity, they had an extension lead coming out, which they just grabbed a plug from like one of the houses nearby and just ran a plug to it, and that was their electricity supply. And my brother and I, every time we saw that when we drove past, we laughed at we laughed at it so much.
Did that person know that they were using their electricity?
I honestly don't know. And while I've never used that car wash before, but it's still around, and they've managed to like expand. They've actually got a garage set up there now that works on cars. So, you know, business is apparently alright for them.
So they're using the electricity for their drills and shit in the garage.
I think they now have a legitimate electricity supply, but
Oh.
back then, which wasn't that long ago, by the way, but back then, it was a great source of just like my brother and I just laughing our heads off, just thinking about those guys and that fucking plug they were running.
Man, you make it sound like you live in the ghetto, man.
I live in East London, man.
It's not the ghetto though. Fuck off.
I know it's not the ghetto, but it's still pretty fucking shit.
Yous are all super harsh about the area you live in as well.
Look at these examples I give you. These are all true stories.
Just sounds interesting. Has culture. I turned on the laptop. I ran a search for urge to vomit lessons, foods, drinks. What? The internet gave me page after page of results.
He means something to stop him from puking.
Oh, right, okay. Checked a bunch of pages, just like you're supposed to when you're looking something up.
生姜か。ならゲンさんからもらったカッコン糖があるか。
Kakonto.
What is kakonto?
I don't know. I looked under the sink until I found the Kakonto powder. Then poured it into a cup and added some hot water from the electric kettle. Oh, man. It had a strange smell, unlike anything I was used to. I took a sip. It tastes terrible, isn't it?
This is getting like ASMR, man.
I could tell that my hands were shaking a little as I held the cup. God damn it all. It wasn't the first time I'd seen a body. Okay. Checked the phone again and saw that there were several messages from Serika and Kurusu. I went to answer, but stopped. They were probably still up. I didn't feel like talking to anyone. I felt like the air I'd breathed in at the Love Hotel yesterday was still deep inside me. Phrasing. Along with the
I mean, it would be, right? Because, you know, you breathe it in and then it sort of reacts with your lungs. And I don't know. I'm not a fucking biologist, but...
Oh, that's where you're going with this. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean... along with the cheerful melody of the music box and the red that covered my vision, I felt something strange on my cheek. Put a hand up to feel it. It was a bandage. I'd gone to some kind of clinic at the police station where they'd put it on. They told me I must have hit my face hard on the floor when I'd passed out. I was unlucky enough to scrape my cheek against a piece of the shattered glass. Thankfully it wasn't a big wound, barely hurt at all. But it itched like hell. And each time it itched, the shock I'd felt came rushing back and quickened my pulse. The danger was long enough, but I still couldn't forget the terror. Had I almost been caught up in something horrible? Yes.
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 Very yes.
I mean, you were seeking that danger, man. What are you talking about? No. I was fine. Right? I wasn't like everyone else. I wasn't an amateur.
Copium.
I'd gone through that hell I'd just dreamed about and survived.
よし。
Maybe having that nightmare again was good for me. I managed to force down the urge to vomit, then clicked away at the computer. I opened my computer's TV program.
Sorry.
Changed the channel to a news program and watched it on my monitor. This reminds me of something.
Oh God, what is it?
I remember
TV program.
I remember back in the day, you could get TV tuner cards that you could put into your computer.
Oh shit! You're right.
You remember them?
I do. I never had one.
I think we might have got one at one point. I got it to try it out, and it was shit. It was just like,
Were they analog?
Yeah. At that time, it was analog, so you'd just plug in the aerial or whatever at the back, and it would just give you shitty TV like you'd get in a normal TV. And there was no benefit to it. It's not like now where you've got a digital signal and screens have decent resolution and
I don't think you had OBS back then as well.
No. Like, What a different world it was, man. But yeah, this is what reminded me of that. I was like, yeah,
I
you
still
can watch
remember
TV on that.
thinking way back when, right? Like when I had my fucking phone, and I mean dumb phone, not smartphones like we have these days, which had like WAP internet instead of anything. And I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
man, I would love to watch videos on this thing. Now I've got my fucking phone. I'm like, yeah, and I watch videos on it all the time.
Yeah.
Love this thing.
I mean, I love it, but I'm not gonna say I hate it, but the whole WhatsApp thing or messaging and people having access to you in a way that's a lot more intrusive than it ever has been, can be annoying sometimes.
Doesn't bother me. I just ignore the shit I don't want to check out. If I want to be on Twitter, I'll be on Twitter. If I want to be on WhatsApp, I'll be on WhatsApp. And if I want to be on YouTube, I'm almost always on YouTube.
I mean, YouTube doesn't have it. You can ignore Twitter and stuff. I'm just thinking more of the kind of direct messages, things like WhatsApp and the like.
Do not disturb mode.
Yeah, but I have this horrible tendency to want to look at least at what the message is. It's not like, so it's not that there's not a way to stop it. There's always a way to stop it. Hell, I could throw.
The problem is with you then. You're like, oh, but I can't stop myself from checking it. It's there. I have to see it.
Yes, and I'm not saying that it's the fault of. I'm not saying it's not my fault. But that is the issue there, and so I try, like the WhatsApp. You can hide notifications for certain groups or certain people, but it's still, even if you ignore them, it'll still show up on your unread thing. And I'm like, can I not just like archive this and forget about it, and then look in my archive when I feel like it to read all the unread messages? And you can't do that. So when I look at the other messages in WhatsApp that I do want to read, like say the stuff that you send me or whatever, I noticed that there's this other group or whatever of unread messages, and I'm like, I need to do it because I have this OCD where I need to like clear the unread message thing, and it's super annoying. So yeah, that kind of sucks. And yeah, I find myself just like, on times when I'm not really doing much, I'll just unlock my phone to try and do something on it to take up the time. And I know most people have this issue. It does kind of bug me. I feel like I'm moving more towards, like, I've gone away from I use this to benefit me to this is taking a bit of control in a way that I'm not happy. But technology, man, it's always a double-edged sword. The more powerful it is.
You gotta practice, like, you know, good habits with it. Like, don't check it all the time. You gotta put it down and be like, I am not going to check every WhatsApp message that comes my way until, you know, when you're free or when you want to.
Yeah, but then I miss about 100 messages from you and your bro, right? Yeah, and I'm like, fuck, because you can't go through those messages properly. Like today, to be fair, like I was busy at work, right? And the messages were piling up, and that wasn't bothering me. It doesn't bother me at the time when I'm busy doing something else. And then I went to the messages and I was like, oh, right, and I just kind of zipped through the messages in the WhatsApp group and didn't really pay too much attention. I was like, and actually my phone's I don't know if it does it itself, but it's like started to like, I don't know if it started to mute everything, because it used to vibrate when I'd get messages on like Discord and stuff like that. And it's just like over time, it's like muting everything so it doesn't vibrate for anything. And I'm like,
You might have set something weird.
It's like a Pixel phone, and I don't know if it's got some AI smart bullshit, right, where it decides, oh, you're not reading these messages straight away, or maybe this is the time of day, maybe I'll just mute these. Because it does actually periodically say, we've taken away access rights to these apps because you haven't used them in a while. Like ones
But that's if you don't use them. Like, you are using these other ones, so I have no idea.
No, but I'm just saying that that's an example of where it will proactively do things depending on your usage. And I'm just wondering if it's doing that with some of these apps where it's like, oh, you're not you know, you're not looking at these straight away or anything like that. You've muted these other things. Maybe I'm just gonna mute it, and I can't be bothered to actually look into it to find out. But yeah, I don't want to because I'm kind of happy it does that at the same time. But yeah, technology taking over our lives. I mean, it's already taken over our lives.
I'm of the opinion it makes it better. Oh, here we are, as you were saying.
Ah, yes. A few months ago, I'd bought a USB TV tuner off of a homeless guy who had no idea what it was worth. All it cost me was dinner at a local restaurant. That was nice.
All it cost me was dinner at a local
He
restaurant.
took him for dinner at a local restaurant.
What?
Homeless guy. I mean,
Okay.
that was a nice thing to do, even if you did
Yeah.
kind of con him out of it. Ah, yeah. It looked like shit on the computer. That would disappointed me. I don't know why I thought it would look better.
These exist.
Yeah, I had one. I had something, I
I just
feel.
googled it. Fucking USB Freeview TV tuner stick.
Oh!
These still exist.
Well, if you're saying Freeview, that's a more recent thing.
Yeah, no internet connection. Oh, sounds like horse shit. I wouldn't even use this anyway. I don't watch TV.
You need to plug it into... You need to attach it to an antenna, though, don't you? If it's not using
But we
the
don't
internet-
have analog. We don't have analog signals anymore.
No, but you have digital through antennas.
Right.
Like, it's
Oh
just...
yeah, they are digital.
It's like the only difference is it's a digital. It's thingied in a digital signal instead of pure analog. So yeah, interesting.
Fucking like Tech Radar even has reviews of these.
People probably use them. Because they're just built into your TV. It's effectively your TV is a computer. Your computer is a computer. So you're just taking the tuner that's in your TV and you're plugging it in via USB to your computer. That might be handy for certain things as well, actually. I don't watch much live TV though, so. Look at this, the game's teaching us stuff.
I just feel like I've entered a world I didn't know existed, but I'm cool staying out of that. I don't.
Hey, maybe
I'm
you'll...
just surprised that these still exist.
Are you? I'm not. I'm not surprised that you can get a Freeview digital USB stick thing. Because it's a USB, sorry, it's a digital signal. Computers can do most anything nowadays anyway. Kind of makes sense that someone's done that. Hell, you could get a Raspberry Pi and fucking attach and
Make one yourself, I suppose.
a
Yeah.
coaxial socket to it and via the GPIO and do shit. So yeah, just like I thought, there was an article about the events 2 days ago. All they said was that a man's body was found in a Dogenzaka love hotel. They didn't say whether it was suicide, murder, or just an accident.
Because they don't know.
There was nothing about the girl who'd been found at the scene, or about me and Serika. Yeah, you're not that important.
Yeah, that doesn't need to be there.
I see.
やっぱりこんなもんなのか。
Not recognized. I'd never experienced for myself the gap between what happened at a crime scene and what was reported on TV, but it didn't really surprise me. These days, the internet was a lot faster at reporting things than TV.
Instagram.
This might be before Instagram, though. This is 2000.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Instagram right now. It used to be Twitter, but now it's Instagram. Instagram gets all the local news faster than anything.
You're just saying that because of those videos you get posted of your local area.
Because that's our local area. I'm talking about local news.
I don't know, man.
This
Like-
is local news for him. It's a hotel in his area.
Yeah, but I feel like Twitter is still pretty strong with that sort of stuff.
That's more national news.
Twitter? Nah, man. I remember I was in London once, right? And I was looking, I was like, what the fuck is a helicopter flying around? This was central London. And then I just did a search for it and someone had already posted, oh, look, someone else was like, oh, what's the helicopter flying over? And then someone else was like, oh, I think it's this. I think they're checking this. And I was like, oh, look at that. I found out within fucking 5 minutes. Or at least what other
Shouldn't
people...
be that surprised. You shouldn't be that surprised that there's a helicopter overhead in London, though.
There was something about the helicopter that made me want to look it up.
Was it military?
I'm wondering if it was. I remember a Chinook flew over once. And that
Same
was
here,
that was
yeah.
interesting. I don't know. I was just curious, and other people had said it, and it was pretty fast. I mean, I would say it's fast as like what you're saying with Instagram. You just need to know what to look for. Obviously, there's not going to be a special hashtag for everything. But then I've not used Twitter. I don't use Twitter much anyway. So, and I don't use Instagram in the way that I think you guys do. So,
I've been using Twitter recently, but it's just to, like, you know, some joke stuff, and that's it.
Twitter's cancer. To be honest, they all kind of are. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. I use Insta only to post some of the drawings I've done, and it keeps recommending me hot girls doing hot things in tight clothes. I'm like, go with
Hey, man,
Instagram.
that's useful. Also, cross promotion, y'all.
I know. Yeah, cross promotion. I look for Ashmanics on Instagram. But yeah, I don't want to go down that. There's too many hot girls that don't give a shit about you. I don't want to go down that path. Waifus, 2D is superior. The people who follow the news online, TV wasn't a place to learn new things. It was where you went to see if something you'd heard about was so important that was getting TV coverage. Yes.
You know what? That's right.
That's
That is
so
correct.
true. So true today.
Yeah.
ネットの大衆はどうだ
I closed the TV program and opened the browser. Internet Explorer 10. Nico Neo
Is it?
News had something on it too. I clicked on the uploaded video.
渋谷でまた事件です。最近の渋谷では今回の件と合わせて3つの物騒な事件が発生しているんですが、
It's like always, it was Watabe, the attention-seeking internet reporter. Why did you have to add attention-seeking?
Because he is.
Pot calling the kettle black. He was famous for charging into crime scenes to get scoops. Lately, he seemed to be getting a little too cocky. He explained what had gone on at the Love Hotel as the video showed pictures that he'd probably taken himself.
いずれにせよ警察は何か隠していると思います。ただ変死体を発見したとしか発表がなされていませんが、それにしては。
And then, like always, he started to mix in his own subjective opinions with the news. Isn't that what the news is like everywhere now? He was right. The police were hiding something. But there was little point in listening to the rest of this. Vague information would just get in the way.
大衆もこんなもんか
Oh, condescending much?
I told you. It comes back to the idea that he thinks of himself as special.
Yeah, it does. It's annoying.
She was right on the money.
Yes, she was. I mostly ignored Watabe's voice as I looked at the video on the screen. Oh, damn, he got pictures inside as well.
He was, yeah, I just remembered. Yeah, he was there at that last episode that we recorded when the policeman was checking it out. And then there was we didn't see a sprite for him, but it said this guy just came in and started asking way too many questions.
Yeah, I didn't realize he'd got photos though. He must have got it by charging into the hotel room.
何だったんだあれは
I thought back to what had happened. A man was strangled to death in his room. There was an unconscious girl and a police officer there as well. The girl was the most obvious suspect. Even if she chose a strange way to do it, she still must have killed him, right? No. If he had definitely killed him, then he would have announced that. He was arrested, just like I was. 30 hours had passed. Even if they'd found she was innocent, they should have announced that. The police believe that the girl with him may know something, and are proceeding with their investigation. Like that. Did the police think that she didn't do it? Then what was she doing in that room? And even if the police had told me during the interrogation that I'd imagined it, I knew what I'd heard. Someone else had visited that room and knocked on the door. The sign was...
See, that's the interesting information there.
Well, this is on his... Like, did that happen? Nothing has confirmed it. He heard that.
The rhythmic knocking.
Yeah, no one else has confirmed it yet, though. Or nothing else has confirmed that that wasn't just him imagining it. Him and Serika. Because I don't know, did Serika acknowledge?
I don't remember.
I don't know if she actually went, oh, I heard that too, what's that? The sound was eerie and always had the same rhythm. Do you know what'd be creepy? If someone started knocking on his door with that same rhythm.
This isn't that kind of game, is it?
I fucking hope not. I felt a cold chill and nearly turned toward the door.
As you were saying.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be a delusion. You can probably do it with a negative delusion, I think.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm fucking doing positive. Fuck that.
Yeah.
My room was the same as always. There was no sign of anyone approaching it.
The positive one will be the knocking, then it turns out to be a hot chick or one of the girls he likes. Like, well, I say likes, but the girls who he knows coming in and being like, hug me, or something like that. I don't know. And then we'll see what happens.
I listened carefully to see if I could hear anything outside. Nothing.
だよな。気にしすぎだ。
You also live on your own in there. Oh no.
Yeah, there you go.
Huh? Just heard a knock at the door, right? Couldn't believe it. I'd forgotten to lock the door. I froze as it swung open from the outside. Someone was there. Who? Wait, it's not even opened yet. I knew two people who had come in without waiting for an answer, but was it okay for me to just stand here? I gulped and spoke in a hoarse voice. Poking through the gap in the door was... Oh, fuck what?
I knew it.
Wait, now this is a positive delusion. What do you think is going to happen?
I already told you what I think is going to happen.
Someone I knew well.
So far, it's not disappointing.
よかった。起きてた。
Wait, she has no parents either. Where does she stay?
Don't worry about that.
Relieved, I staggered over and sat down on the bed. That hadn't done my heart any favours. For some reason, Serika was standing at the entrance, fidgeting. Didn't try to come any further in.
どうした？こんな時間に女の子一人でここに来るのはあんまり良くないと思う。
It is midnight. I didn't think any of the homeless in this park were bad people, but someone who was hard up for money might attack her. Especially after what I'd seen. I felt like I was going to start imagining things I didn't want to visualize.
Not with you at the wheel.
大丈夫？
何が？
昨日あんなことがあったから。
Honestly, not really. Was Serika going through the same thing?
家に一人でいると昨日のこと思い出しちゃうんだ。それで怖くなって眠れなくて。
You live on your own.
尾上。
Well, so does he.
ねえ、私一人でいるのやだな。今日だけでいいから泊まらせてくんない？
Bow,
This is
chicka,
exactly
wow,
what I
wow.
said. This
Bow,
is exactly what I said. I told you.
bow,
It's too
chicka.
obvious.
This is the new thumbnail for this episode. I knew exactly how she felt. Just having someone you knew next to you was enough to make you feel a lot better. Take me, for example. Having Serika here was letting me relax a little.
いいよ。
As if he's that smooth.
have to sleep on the floor, I suppose.
ありがとう。
Erica must have felt better when she heard my response. She looked like she was about to cry. She sat down right next to me on the bed. But why was she sitting next to me? There were other places to sit. But when I looked closer, I saw that her shoulders were shaking a little.
昨日のことが頭の中に焼き付いてて。
尾上。
It was natural, I supposed. Erica was a girl and she was younger than me. Therefore, she has no fucking guts. According to this dude, seeing something like that must have been a huge shock to her. It was my fault for getting her caught up in this.
What? She led the charge, you knob.
She did. As I started thinking about that, she put her head up against my shoulder.
タク、
Taku?
一緒にいて。
Oh, look at that. The words that every man wants to hear.
That's the thumbnail.
Dun, 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 dun.
お願い。
Wow. Wow.
God. This is a really long pan up to the sky.
I know, what the hell?
尾上はもっとずぶといだろ。
There you go.
Of course, in reality, I was fucking imagining this because I'm a sad bastard. Sarah would never let me see her being that vulnerable, and she'd never actually come to visit.
See, now that post-nut clarity has kicked in, we can now carry on with the story.
Wait, she's came to his place before, though. Was she okay, even if I wasn't? Maybe she was just fine. She was probably just dense. Yeah. I was really delicate, so in a sense, I was jealous of her. I sighed a little and locked the door.
Wait, he actually opened it?
No, he'd left it unlocked.
Dangerous?
Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, I've just realised that I've left it I forgot to lock it. And that's when Serica supposedly came in. So after the delusion, he's like, yeah, I better fucking lock that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's right. Crap. It was a new day.
ネットの知識者はどうだ？
I quickly opened another site. Shibuya News. Wait, okay, another one. News! I like how it's spelled. This was the private news site I trusted the most. Private? It was always updated at midnight every day. The quality of the news and the reliability of its updates made it far more useful than TV or the mass market sites. Talking about you, YouTube. Online news was faster than TV, but of course some sites were better than others.
I'm getting the feeling that he's reading some biased shit.
Probably. There was no end to the number of wrong-siders who would treat the net as a single entity that was the opposite of TV. The TV says one thing, but the internet says something different, they'd say. If you ask me, they were utter morons. These days, even a lot of the larger sites online aimed for the same mass market the TV news did. It was critical that you find out for yourself which sites could really be trusted. Just like the name implied, Shibuya News dealt with the goings-on around Shibuya. It was similar enough to our newspaper club that everyone in the club knew about the site and used it regularly.
That's not a good endorsement.
Its owner, Kay, was, how to say this, very skilled at getting and sharing information and seeing its effects. She carefully calculated when to send and when to receive information. A lot of child and grandchild sites use Shibuya News as their parent site. Most of them were privately run news sites as well.
Sounds about right.
As a result, a huge number of people saw the information that Kay spread. To put it more unkindly, Kay was manipulating them. Anytime Kay wrote about a popular shop among high school students in Shibuya, or a free smartphone app, I would hear people at school talking about it within a few days. Take, for example, the Twitter user that most of Hekio Academy followed, HekioBot. It described itself as a bot by Hekio students for Hekio students. But from the number of times it would show up in the Shibuya news, my guess was that it was actually run by Kei. Kei was one of the few people I recognized as a right sider. When something important was going on in Shibuya, first you checked the TV shows to get the basics, then the mass market sites to see what the net was saying. Then you would go to Shibuya News for the latest information. This was the way the newspaper club, and myself specifically, would always look for information.
やっぱり
Wait a minute. So really, he hasn't got anything new that Kay wouldn't have then?
Mm-hmm. The quality of the news wasn't the only reason that Shibuya News was popular. One reason was that Kay appeared to be a girl. When someone was thought to be a girl in real life, they got a lot more hits than someone who was thought to be a guy. It's so true, man. If I was a girl, I'd get more views on YouTube, I think. Not fair. True though, man. And the other reason was...
耳直しにお送りしたのはファンタズムの在価に契約の血をでした。
A contract of blood to seal our sin.
A gothic punk band that was popular in Shibuya around 2009. In 2015, it still has some passionate fans. A group of 4, but only the names of the vocalist, FES, and the guitarist, Rio, have been made public. This radio broadcast. Whenever there was something big she wanted to report on, we'd always do an internet radio broadcast. It offered proof that she was a girl, her voice calm and pleasant to the ear. A lot of people just listened to her broadcasts. A lot of lonely people there, man. The audio from the leaky noise case that I had played for Kurusu had actually been modified by Kei to be easier to understand.
Yeah, they boosted the audio at the end, right?
さて、普段かけないファンタズムさんの楽曲をかけたのは理由があります。昨日、ラブホテルで20代の男性が変死していた事件、ご存知ですよね。
I know about that.
相変わらず渡部さんがお元気に喋ってくださってますが。
Wait, this voice is Kay, is it?
Allegedly.
Right, because it says Kay-san in the bottom.
Yeah. I chuckled a little. His glory hogging was a running joke amongst Nikoniya news viewers.
一つ、彼は気づいていないことがあります。ファンタズムさんが先ほどの楽曲を発表した6年前、渋谷で何が起こったか、皆さんご存知ですよね。
Nope.
そう、渋谷地震です。でも、その前に世間を賑わせていたのは、ニュージェネレーションの狂気と呼ばれた連続殺人事件でした。
Oh. I was startled. That's right. Crap.
Did he forget his own theory?
I'd forgotten after all that happened at the Love Hotel.
He forgot his own theory!
No way!
もうお気づきの方もいらっしゃいますね。9月7日のこっちみんな。9月19日のおともれたん。そして昨日。正確に言えばおとといですが、9月29日の変死事件。
Wait a minute. Is this Kei-san person the one that's actually the one that put all this stuff together? And our character is just like, it's so obvious, and he's just like...
This is what I implied earlier when I said that our guy hasn't got any information which Kay doesn't.
So our guy sucks.
Yeah.
He's not even like...
日付が一致しているんです。
He's not even like good enough to have been the one to like put the pieces
It's not his own
together.
deduction. He's just following this guy and is like, oh, of course, mind exploded.
Mind blasting. In that second, the Twitter stream that was linked to the broadcast lit up. It was overflowing with comments.
次の日付はヴァンパイアと呼ばれた事件が起きた10月10日。愛する渋谷にお住まいの皆さん、くれぐれもお気をつけて。
The vampire case.
それでは今 回はこの辺りで。お付き合いいただきありがとうございます。わずかな時間のお相手は私 K さんでした。
Thank you for hosting.
時刻は間もなく2015年10月1日0時30分。悔いのない一日が始められることを祈っています。
Okay, that's a bit ominous. She signed off in her usual way. The broadcast ended. She got me. That's right. The hypothesis was why I'd forced my way into the Love Hotel. And something had happened, just like I thought. After 3 such incidents, it was only natural to assume that there might be a connection. The new generation madness. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the...
There's a guy in the toilet.
What the fuck? Was it going to happen again? I suddenly felt pain in my cheek. I reached up and saw that blood was coming out from the side of the bandage. The cut must have opened. As I took care of it, the red blood in my fingers stood out. Without warning, I felt a horrible sense of dread. I was sinking into quicksand. Usually, I love to have a mystery to solve. Now that the case was definitely real, I hesitated.
Well, what the fuck kind of mystery does he like to solve then? Fake ones?
You're so harsh. For the rest of that night, I wasn't able to do any more research about the case. Yes, you probably just went to sleep. Oh, look at the cute bears in the background. Wait, whose screen is this?
Is this...
Wait, am I actually...
Is this supposed to be Serica's?
Oh, shit.
You're on the computer.
I'm on the computer.
Gameplay!
Wait, what? Fucking can't open Internetscape. What's
Wait, see if you can load up Hachibase.
I can't click on any of these.
What? Nah,
this sucks. Fucking disappointed. What's this saying? 3 suspicious deaths in Shibuya this month. Line up the 4th death is predicted to our current 10th of the 10th. I can't click on that link. Can I close this? No. But at least I can't move the mouse.
I think you're just supposed to read it then, innit?
Horseshit! Fred archived. It's happening. Jeff. Somebody call me. K so smart.
Oh, I found our dude. He's number 11.
What makes you say that?
K is so smart.
I mean, any of these could be. How did no one notice? Grip dive, don't look at me, pregnant noise, leaky noise, crucified, Love Hotel incident. Alright, so don't look at me, leaky noise, and then vampire. He's fucked this up. That's supposed to be 2015.
Sorry, what?
So all of these are dates that happened in 2009, and then this is the 2015 version, right? The grip dive happened, and then there's a don't look at me. Pregnant man happened, and then there's a leaky noise in the same day, 2015. Crucified happened, and then 29th of September, Love Hotel. And then Vampire happened, and then 10th of the 10th, 2015 is supposed to be the next instance, so they fucked that up.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that 2009 and then 2009 with the question marks. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Fucked up. They couldn't even get that right? Fucking hell. Man. I want to know more about the third death. Was it in the nasties leaky noise? Maybe it is this guy. Let's get married. Whose eyes are those?
Wait,
eyes?
what the fuck? Number 25.
I got so excited listening to Shibuya News. Fapping to the radio. I had the same feeling. What? I think this means another earthquake coming. Let's Shibuya's doomed. I'm K's dad. Okay. This means it will cancel restoration. You guys make sick people dead. What the fuck are you so happy about? Don't look at me. Oh, yeah, I thought K was smart at this. I'm disappointed. It's been 6 years. Drag. The return of new generation.
What is that?
Madness.
What is that ASCII art? Is that supposed to be like a bear or something?
I don't know. Yeah, the nose. It's out of thingy. They fucked it. Or maybe it's because I'm watching this on a... Oh, how do I end this? Oh.
There you go.
And I think on that point, I'm going to stop because it's like an hour and 20 minutes now. See, I didn't do it exactly on the hour. Isn't that good? I know.
It's alright. I feel like we got a decent amount this time.
You berated me in the last video. I was scrubbing through it. I was like, I don't know what your thing is, but
My thing is that when I make videos, and you must have seen this in my Kukari series, but I like to try and make one video like an episode that has a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So I don't go for length, but I try to keep a story in it.
So I've been trying to go for the hour. I don't try, like, it's not a hard exact 1 hour. It's just I want to keep it around that time because it just keeps it a bit more consistent. And if I can keep if there's like a good chunk of the story in there, great. If not, I mean, if I can do it on a bit of a cliffhanger, that is, I mean, it's shit, but it's a bit, people are like, oh, I want to watch the next part, you know. I try not to be a shithead like that, but I will enjoy the extra views if that works. So yeah. But that's saved. No, this has been an interesting episode. Well, I say interesting. We've just kind of got a bit of backstory for our main guy.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And man, he lives in a shithole. I thought the RV was I thought it was an RV. It's literally just like a...
It's a fucking caravan. Stuck underneath what looked like some kind of bridge or overpass.
He lives amongst the homeless.
Yeah, he lives in a park. I didn't get that feeling before, but he's in a park. I still don't know how he's getting electricity.
I'm telling you, he's stealing it. I don't know how he gets food and what. Like, I don't know how he pays for food and stuff. I'm assuming he gets... the government helps him out in that because he's like a minor with no parents.
He must be on some kind of like social security, but I just don't know about the rest of it. Like, how are they even allowing him to stay in a fucking caravan of all places rather than putting him up in another like foster home or something?
It sounds like he's chosen that though. So maybe
can he choose it?
I don't know.
Like, would they even allow him to? I don't know. These are questions like I'm not actually looking for an answer for really, because it's probably extremely in depth, you know, in real life. But like, it just strikes me as odd that this kid can opt for himself to live by himself.
Japan, you can be independent from the age of 13, can you not?
But isn't it that independent?
You can live on your own from the age of 13, can you not?
Is that true? Live on your own from the age of 13? That's mad.
I'm pretty... I was expecting you to confirm this because I thought you...
I don't know.
Let me just check this.
I don't know.
When can you be independent? Watch that made me think that. On FAFSA, what's that? In Japan. How old do you have to be to live independently in Japan? Let me think. However, that is not the case. What? Blah 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 blah. This is too long. ELDR. What's this question? The age of consent in Japan is 13. Shit.
That's age of consent. That's not the same thing.
Considered legally old enough to consent. What? That's not the question though. Oh. Can a minor go to Japan alone?
Not the question.
Not required to travel. Can you live alone? Japan is considered... That's not. Maybe I was wrong. I'm sure I saw something that... Something that made me think, wait, can you be more independent in Japan from a younger age? And I felt that you could. I mean, I don't know. Like, I know anime is always a bad thing to give as an example, but like, I was watching an anime. To be honest, it seemed extreme, but nobody seemed to say it was illegal. There was this kid, right? It was a like toddler age or something, 6. In the anime, it's called Kotaro Lives Alone.
I mean, the name itself makes it sound like an unnatural situation.
Yeah, but I was like, never did the police come to try and take him away, and I'm like, this seems. Why? It just seems so out of. Like, it's all grounded in reality in general, right? There's no supernatural or kind of thingy to it. And it just seemed really weird that they never had that kind of like, wait, how can a kid legally live alone? So I do wonder if there's like just some sort of like, in general you can't, but there's
You
like
shouldn't.
some weird loophole thing, or they just
Like, in general, you shouldn't. Like, I honestly feel like there should be some sort of like safeguarding procedures in place where like local social services would get involved and be like, nope, son, you're coming and staying with this nice family or something like that. Especially since, wait, how old are they? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, but 16 you can be on your own, can you not?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Like,
you can be on
I don't
your
know.
own.
Maybe I'm just like enforcing my Western ideals on them. I don't know.
No, but I think
like,
even in the UK, at the age of 16, you can be on your own, can you not? You don't need to be with an adult. You can live on your own.
16?
Yeah.
In the UK?
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure about that. It's a lot more subjective in the UK as well. Sometimes we allow kids to make their own choices if we've found that they're mentally capable to actually make decisions for themselves. But that's getting in depth a bit. So yeah.
Once a person, apparently to the NSPCC, according to the NSPCC, once a young person reaches 16, they can leave home, or their parents can ask them to move out. So,
Interesting.
there you go.
I thought it was 18 for some reason.
Because you're an old man like me, and you just assume it's 18, because it's been a long time since we were that age. But
Well, I remember when I was like, yeah, you can finish school at 16. Gosh.
so this guy is 16, so if it's 16 in the UK, it's not too far stretched to think maybe in Japan it's 16 as well.
All right, fair enough. But I still think it's weird.
Nah, makes sense. He's basically, as soon as he could, he's decided to live on his own. The only thing is he's living in in
Caravan.
an area full of homeless people. And I think most, which is the thing, because I think homeless people in Japan is different from like homeless people in a lot of other places.
I know we just made a point. You just made a point that we shouldn't be using media as a reference point for this stuff. But I was just about to say, remember Yakuza 7?
Yeah.
Remember all the homeless guys in that?
But they seem cool.
Yeah, they were cool. But like at the same time, it wasn't great.
No, not
terrible.
for them. It's terrible that you have people like that are homeless. So yeah, it's not ideal living situation, but he also seems like the type of guy that wants to stay a bit off the grid, even though he still has internet connection.
Oh, you're right. Oh, who the fuck is giving him internet as well?
Yeah, how's he getting the internet? All these questions. How's he? And like, how does he deal with the toilet situation? Because he clearly has to clear out the septic tank in that caravan.
Let's not worry about that aspect of things. I'm just reminded of Chaos Head because I remember the main character in that lived in a shipping container on a roof of a building.
Yeah, I didn't watch much of that, but I remember that. But that seems to be like an in-style thing to do for hipsters nowadays, mainly because it's so expensive to buy fucking property anywhere. There are people that are selling shipping containers that have been kitted out as like rooms, living accommodation.
Man, there's like a factory. Some factories which used to be here have been repurposed. You know, factories and warehouses repurposed into like modern style accommodation as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you want to properties such a high demand.
I find that weird. It's odd.
A friend of mine's where he lives, he said they had converted an area to housing, but they had some weird rule because it used to be an industrial estate, and so windows on one side of the building don't open. They're just like sealed windows. And
wait, was that part of the original structure then?
No, I don't know. No, they're new houses, but they're, because of this weird rule, they have these sealed. Like, you can't open windows on one side of the building, and they're flats, right? Or whatever, apartments or whatever.
Was it? Did you say it was a factory before or something?
That area was an industrial estate before, but they cleared it and built new houses, right? It's like
I wonder if it was because of any sort of like chemical contamination, because I know one of the areas around here, they got some sort of like, I think it was mercury or something in the ground, and because of that, the local area they have to keep like some meters in the buildings which record the amount of I'm not sure if it was mercury or something else, but it's a chemical that's just present because there are factories around, and they need to keep a record of how much of that chemical there is present.
So I don't know if
at all times.
It could be something like that, but you can imagine that being extremely inconvenient during the summer, especially if you have, I think, a flat on that side of the building.
Especially if you're in the UK and you don't have air conditioning.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have air conditioning.
I actually generally don't understand how they can legally build a house where the whole flat, you don't have a window that you can open. I
mean, did they demolish the whole building and then build it from scratch?
Oh, these are new buildings.
Yeah,
these are not repurposed.
So they did.
Yeah,
that's weird, because what I was talking about was repurposed.
So repurposed, kind of like you go, oh right, the building moves like that, but this was new, and I was Now, I was talking to my friend, and he probably doesn't understand the full situation. He just, he knows that side's sealed, and there may be more to it. But I'm like, that is fucking terrible. I would never move into a place like that. I'd be like, no, I need to have
at that point, I can't imagine it being anything other than something hazardous to their health over there, because that's the only reason I would think to keep the windows shut at all times.
Yeah, it just seems. But if you're walking about, does that mean that you can't just walk about all the time out? And it's like,
I have no idea.
Yeah, it just seems
it's so weird.
Dodge, right?
At least have like the right of air, right?
I don't know what the reason is. It'll be something stupid, and I should actually look into it because now I'm kind of curious. But I remember thinking, I don't know the full details. Maybe there's a reason behind this, but I would not want to move into a flat like that or a house. I mean, where like. Okay, if it was a house and it's one side of the house, that I wouldn't do that anyway. It would be extremely annoying to not have and to not be able to open windows in certain rooms of the house. But if you're in a flat and that's like all of the flat, I'd be like, how is that even allowed by law? So I don't know how it works. Maybe they can open it on the other side. Maybe it is when you get a flat or a house, a terraced house, it's like the whole bit, so it's like the back you can open, but you can't open the front. But that is just, I don't know. Yeah, weird rules, man. So
it would be subject to the like the planning permissions and whatever they got,
It's like, oh, we got this cheap land. Oh yeah, but we have to follow these rules because this land's probably toxic. Oh well.
Yeah.
Cheap land, sell it for fucking high prices and make a buck. Capitalism. But yeah, so no, this has been quite interesting. This has been good. We'll see where things go from here because we've just kind of got our main man's point of view. We've not seen Serika. Well, we've not really seen her.
we saw like a dream version of her.
We've imagined her, probably fapped to her, and experienced post-nut clarity after that. But we've not actually seen her. So it'll be interesting to see her point of view and for the gang to get together and to see where we go from here. What's going to happen with this next case.
He's probably right. She is a strong person, stronger than the dream version of her. I say dream, delusional version of her that showed up. But at the same time, she did seem to legitimately be traumatized by it from the her reactions that we saw. So
I mean, anyone would be, man. It was like, yeah. But she was all gung ho, more so than him, all the way up to that point. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, this has been good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I mean, what do you guys think? Or what do you guys think about the random shit we were talking about? Do you live in a building that has weird rules? Leave a comment below, please.
Sorry about interrupting too much, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, no, man. I mean, this is what we do. We just chat shit most of the time instead of playing the game. But if you enjoyed it, please, if you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. I appreciate all your feedback. And visit Kuxo's channel as well. I'll have a link to that in the description, like I usually do. And
Cross promotion, y'all.
yes. So yeah, we'll see you next time. I'm Ash Mannix.
And I'm Cooksoul chewing on a burger.
Nice. We will see you next time. Bye.
Later.